Did you know that the United States stands virtually alone in developed nations that lack universal healthcare? Today, I'm going to show you some of the benefits we would have if the United States switched to the universal healthcare system that other developed nations use. I've read and done my research on the pros and cons of our system and the systems that other countries use, and I believe that the United States is making a lot of mistakes in the way that things are being run. First, I will discuss the healthcare system that the United States uses, which is very cost deficient. Second, I will discuss other countries' healthcare systems and why they are so cost efficient. And third, I will talk about why we would benefit from switching to the universal system that all the other developed nations in the world use. First, we will talk about the market-based system that the United States is using. Now, I will share some statistics with you about the system that the United States is using. Recently, the United States has spent more on healthcare per capita than any other nation in the world, which is one of the many reasons why our country is in so much debt. And, on average, a male from the United States can be expected to live 4 fewer years than males in other top-ranked developed nations, which is not so good for us guys. Also, in recent years, the percentage of Americans without health insurance has been as high as 17%, which means over 50 million uninsured Americans. Now that you have heard some information about the system that the United States uses, let's talk about other developed nations and the universal healthcare system that they use. Now, I will share with you the way that the universal healthcare system is run in other countries such as Canada and Great Britain. This system is organized to provide all citizens of a certain country a specified package of benefits with the goal of improving the overall health of that nation, which means all legal citizens are getting the same healthcare treatment virtually. This system also decreases the poverty and bankruptcy a nation may experience by cutting back on healthcare costs in a single-payer system because they don't have to go through private-based firms, which can be very expensive. In this system, healthcare is publicly financed and providers are usually not government employees. Doctors are reimbursed by a standard service rate fee, which means everyone is receiving the same treatment and money that they deserve. Now, since you have heard about these two types of systems, I am going to tell you why the United States would benefit from switching to the universal healthcare system. There are a few reasons why I think the United States would benefit from switching to the universal system. Hospitals would have to treat patients whether or not they could afford to pay them back, which is a huge problem in the United States, and I believe that it's just morally right to treat someone in a hospital who needs treatment. Second, all of the billing and health insurance fees would be done by a smaller amount of people who are government employees, which would mean less confusion and paperwork for everyone. And third, we'd be reducing healthcare costs. People who set costs in the healthcare sector basically have free reign over what price they want. They can set it as high as they want, and people are going to have to pay it because they need health insurance and it's very important. A universal healthcare system would be run by the government, which means there'd be a standard service rate fee, and it would definitely be a lot lower than what it is right now in the United States. Now that you have heard about both systems and why I think we should switch, let's review on what we have learned. The United States spends more on healthcare than any other system in the world, and there are over 50 million uninsured Americans walking around today. which is just kind of embarrassing to think about if you ask me. The way that the universal healthcare system works is by providing all legal citizens with the same benefits. It is a government ran system in which doctors are reimbursed and healthcare is virtually free for all legal citizens. I think we should switch to this system because it would cut back on medical costs, which in turn would decrease the poverty level and the bankruptcy that the United States has recently experienced. The United States healthcare system is one of the least effective in the world, and I believe we'd be far better off if we change the way things are done. We are a nation who prides ourselves on taking care of one another. We seem to do this in a lot of other ways, but it is not shown when it comes to the health care of our citizens.